Okay, welcome to your Tech Tidbit Tuesday. Today we're going to talk about Google Apps for Education. Many of you know that students have had access to Google Apps for Education for quite a while, but we also wanted you to know that teachers also have access to Google Apps for Education. So we're going to start by launching Google Chrome web browser. It is a Google application, so it does work better in Google Chrome. It will work in Internet Explorer, but it works better in Google Chrome. So I'm going to go ahead and start by launching Google Chrome. And that's going to bring you to your district homepage. From any of the district websites, you're going to see a link up at the top called Quick Links. The easiest way to launch and access your Google Apps is to go to Quick Links, look underneath faculty and staff, and you're going to see a link here for Google Apps Login. Now that's different from the students because the students access theirs by going to District 201 students or East students, West students, and go into their email account. But teachers are going to access it from this Google Apps Login. So if you click Google Apps Login, it's going to take you to the login page. If you've never logged in, you are going to have to set up your password. They've set a default password as the 10-digit phone number, your home phone number, and SIS. So if you've not logged in before, you're going to type in your network username and your 10-digit home phone number in SIS, and it's going to prompt you to create a password for your Google Apps account. I have already set that up, so I'm going to go ahead and log in with the password I set up. Once you log in to Google Apps for Education, it's going to take teachers right into the Google Drive. Now students, when they log in, their main screen is going to be their email accounts, but because we still use the Microsoft Exchange server for our email, we're going to go straight into the Drive. Now Google Drive is basically just cloud storage. Google Drive provides each teacher here with 5 gigabytes of storage space in the cloud so that they can have access to their files and folders and information from anywhere that has internet access. Now many teachers I know are using things like Dropbox or iCloud and are already doing that type of thing. But what makes Google Apps great is this is what our students are using. And it's free. So I would like to encourage teachers to use this. You'll notice that Drive is highlighted here, so you can, you know that that's what's active. There's also plenty of things up here, calendars, sites, groups for you to access, but we're really just going to talk about Google Drive today. Notice that you're going to see folders and files that need to be organized, much like you would see in your X Drive. So it's very similar to just storing files on our network. You have a create button as well as an upload button. I am actually looking at my drive right now. That's where these folders and files are stored. I can also look at things that are shared with me, and that means that I don't necessarily own them, or I own them from a different account. But they have been shared with me. If I want to look back at my stuff, I can go back to my drive. Most of you are going to start by uploading documents that you already have. So I want to just go ahead and show you how you would start doing that. You have create or upload. You could click the upload button and it gives you the option to upload a file or a folder. I'm going to upload a single file and keep it simple. I'm going to scroll down here and find just a regular Word document. Any Word document will do. I'm going to select this Did You Know doc and click Open. As soon as I select that document, it's going to have a box that pops up for upload settings, and it's going to let me choose, what do I want to do with this document? Do I want to keep it in the Microsoft Word format, or do I want to go ahead and convert it to a Google Docs format? Now I always leave this box checked because if I allow it to convert it to a Google Docs format, it's not going to matter what kind of software I have at home. It's not going to matter if I have a Mac or a PC, or maybe I'm running an old, Office 2003 and this was done in 2010. you know, whatever the case may be, I can upload the document and be confident that I'm going to be able to work with it once I get to where I'm going. So I leave the box checked. Click Start Upload. And a box will appear and it will show you the progress of your upload. It says the upload's complete. Tells me here that conversion is on. Even though it's showing as a Word document here, when I see it in my Google Drive, it's going to be converted to a Google Doc. So I can close this window. I can scroll down here and quickly see my file right here, and it has been made a Google Doc. That's the Google Doc logo. Now, you have the option to uncheck that box and upload Word documents. If you know you have the right version of Office at home and that's the way you want to upload it, it will allow you to upload Word documents. But what happens when I click on this Word document, it will let me read this document, but it's not going to let me edit it because it's not converted to a Google Doc. So it's a great way to store and transfer files without converting, but it doesn't actually let you make those changes. Now, you're not stuck with it like that. I could come back to my Google Drive, go back to this Word document, and right-click it and ask it to open it in Google Docs, and it would open it right into Google Docs and then allow me to make changes and edit that. So once I didn't convert it so well, but then it would let me make changes, and if I wanted to type somebody's name in here, then I could make those changes. Okay, notice how it's saving as I type. Oh, it wasn't done saving. So it wasn't done saving, so it wouldn't let me exit. Okay, now that it's changed, it will let me back up to my Google Drive. Now, when I scroll down here and look at my sign-in sheet, notice that I have two. I have one that is the Word document, and now I also have one that's a Google Doc. So there are ways around that if you do upload and keep it in Word. Another thing that you might do is create new documents. I'm going to just simply create a new document here. When it pops up, it's going to look pretty much like any other word processor. It doesn't have as many options as Microsoft Word, but everything you need and everything students need to do their schoolwork. You can click Untitled Document and give it a name. Click OK. You'll notice that the name changes up here at the top. As I type in my Google Doc, Google saves my work. So if you notice in the upper part, it said saving, and then it quickly went to all changes saved in the drive. If I start typing and I add to that, to the document, it will also continue to save my work. So one of the great things about this for both teachers and students is they don't have to worry about losing part of their work. They don't have to worry about losing, their work. So lost flash drives, didn't get the paper off my computer at home, all of that doesn't become a problem anymore. And the same is true for students. Another thing that I like about Google Docs is that it gives you a complete revision history. And so as you work on this and as you save it, it will document that and it will let you go back to any one of those versions at any time. So you don't have to worry about it saving over and then you wanting to go back to the way it was, because you can do revision history and it'll get that back for you. Okay, you can print, you can format in here. All changes are saved. Even if I accidentally close out of that window, I can come back to that document and be confident that my first Google Doc is still there. Even if I closed out of the browser completely, my first Google Doc would still be there. I wouldn't have to worry about losing that file. Now, for collaboration, this works great because you can share documents with students and you can students can share documents with each other. They can share documents with you. This is what I use in newspaper. I have my students upload their files. We make comments. They go change it, and it's all through shared work. So to share a document, you're going to click share, and it gives you a link that you can share with the people you want to share with, or you can invite them, and you can do it by email address. So right now this document's private. I'm the only person that can see it as the owner. I could change that and make it public so that anybody could access it. I could make it where only people with the link could access it, or maybe only people that are in Belleville Township High School. But that's not going to include students because we're actually on 2 separate Google Apps for Education accounts. So this is great, but I always just email it to the individual students. So right now I've got it set to private, and I'm going to leave it that way because what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite by email address. I could type in the email address of the individual person that I wanted to share it with. I could just type it in, or I could select it. He's obviously in my contact list, so it would let me select him. And then I can choose, do I want him to be able to edit, to only comment on it, or to view? I'm gonna let Brad edit my document, and I can click share and save. And it's going to send him an email message, and it's going to let him know that he has access to this document, and he can edit it. At any time, I can go back in here and change what kind of access I want that person to have. Now, you don't have to add them one at a time. You can add entire groups of people. And even better, you can go in from SIS and add entire classes. So if I wanted to add an entire class from SIS, I would go to SIS. And you're going to see from your home screen, and I see everybody's classes, but I would just click the class roster button, display roster next to my class. And I would go to actions, and I would click email students in the grid. And then I would click export addresses to text file. I do want to make sure that it's just checked to email the student and it doesn't include their parents or alternate parents, that I'm just getting student email addresses. I click export addresses to text file, and then it asks me to open it. So I'm going to open that file. And now my computer wants to know with what. It can go in Notepad or WordPad, whichever one you want. And I have a list of email addresses that is ready for me to copy and paste right here in who I want to add. And I can give them access to edit, comment, or view. I'm going to uncheck notify people by email right now because I don't want all of these students to receive an email from me for the purpose of this video. But I'm going to share and save. And it's telling me that they won't know I've shared it with them, which is exactly what I want right now. But most of the time you would send them an email and let them know that you're sharing something with them. And click OK. And then it tells me, are you sure you want to share with them because they're not part of your network, because they're at students.bths201.org and we're just at bths201.org. But I do want to share with them, so I say yes. And so it adds all of them in my list right here that I can share. I've shared that document with all of those students, and they will be able to have access to that. And I click done. And when I go back to my Google Drive, you will be able to see with that particular file, my first Google document, now it says that it is shared. So that's the easiest way to share documents with entire classes. And then any of those students would be able to go to their shared with me folder, and they will see that file right there in their shared with me folder. And everybody in the class can be on one single document editing at the same time once you open that. So once I have this open now, anybody else could join in and comment or make additions to this page. So it makes it real easy for collaborating with your students or for your students collaborating with each other in a group. Okay, that's the basics of Google Drive and Google Apps for Education. We are going to be offering some more training for this, so get with your librarian, either Mary or JJ at East, me, and try to set something up. We're always willing to work with you and show you how this works, and we're going to try to offer some things during lunch hours or after school to get you guys using this. Thanks.